Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Krista here doing the weekly reading for the sign of Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is for the week of December 12th through to the 19th. We do have Moon moving through Virgo this weekend of your readings. And then for the remainder of the week, when this will be played out for you, it'll be transiting through Libra and Scorpio. So the ability to get to the root of something here on a practical level for you is available to you through the week with regard to partnerships and going deep within your soul. So really take slow, calculated action this week with regard to behaviors and emotions. We do have the Moon in Mercury. We do have Mercury in retrograde while the Sun is in Sagittarius. So we do have issues of being blunt and the philosopher this week as well. So you're just going to want to be able to balance these, be blunt with yourself about what needs to be revisited, revised, or released this week. And then you can take practical steps, loving steps to do that through as the week progresses. So this is a general reading for your sign. Whatever is most prominent in your life, I encourage you to take these messages and apply them to. And I hope that you find them helpful and healing. So what does Pisces need to revise this week? So Pisces, it really just looks like you need to put your foot down about a decision. Probably an artistic project. And remember, the arts can, domestic arts, musical arts, the parenting arts, the art of communication, the art of, surgery. There's a lot of different ways that the arts can be calculated here. But certainly moving ahead with regard to a project that you would like to close the door on here is really available to you. I don't see you being really upset or bothered by too much, even during this retrograde in Sagittarius. Not overly surprising on the other hand, though. You do share some qualities. You do share, at least in ancient astrology traditions, you share Jupiter as your ruling planet as opposed to Neptune being your ruling planet now. So there's a lot of opportunity to expand, right? And to be very positive here while being very blunt and sure with yourself. So it looks like you just need to make a decision around something in order to, like I said, to put something on the shelf or to take something off the shelf and then revisit and revise so you can actually close the chapter on that completely. So by the book is representing you this week. This is where we're looking at really doing things in a very regimented way. If this is unappealing to you, remember this will change by, say, Monday or Tuesday. Sorry, by the time you're looking at this will be Tuesday. So probably Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you'll feel like maybe you're being siphoned or sort of like overwhelmed by a sense of having to do things in a certain order, but this is actually going to work to your benefit. So this is representing you while the moon is in Virgo. This is really about practicalities. This is about really not adding anything to a very organized situation. So you don't even have to add. In fact, it might even feel a little bit strange because it could feel unemotional to you, right? Like anything by the book feels like, oh my gosh, it's so regimented, or, you have to do it this way and you can't put your personality into it, or you can't, diverge from it a little bit. And that could feel a little bit constricting, but it'll work to your benefit in the long run here, especially when it comes to actually looking at what of your talents or abilities here or projects needs to be conquered or completed here. This will actually behoove you. You'll be able to say, oh, I know exactly what I want done, and I know exactly how I'm going to do it, and I'm going to follow these steps, and this is actually going to work in your favor as opposed to tripping you up. And it sounds counterintuitive, right? That you would do something in an artistic way, but you do it, but you sort it out or you manage it in a regimented way. But it's not really. It's like having, being an artist, but also being in the business of being an artist. I mean, they are really two different worlds, but you kind of have to be adept at both. So if you're running into this for the first time, or you're running into this and you'd rather not, trust that you can get through this. It's just in your best interest for you to do things sort of in a very calculated way in order to finish things up this week. One of your best friends this week is going to be you being able to sit still. You being able to sit with yourself, be in the present. You could have a lot of female energy around you this week, or you could require a lot of female energy around you this week. If that's the case, reach out. Talk to other people. Talk to other women especially. You could have issues of receptivity this week where you feel overwhelmed. As I've mentioned with other signs, this week in particular, moving through retrograde, of course, there could be some triggers around Christmas time, right? Or even the New Year, some stress that we don't normally have throughout our regular lives. So if you do find that you're meeting with that and you do recognize that it is the holidays, say the next 6 weeks or so, really let yourself sort of, first of all, recognize that it's everybody. It's not just you. Everybody is feeling these energies and these pressures, and that your greatest benefit right now that you can do for yourself is to just take a seat. You just want to sit on down. You want to be in the present. This fairy is literally in a present, right? You just want to be in that moment. You might even take stock of, I'm really overwhelmed by this, and then identify what this is, and then maybe talk yourself down in a way, like just say, oh, okay, well, I'm really busy and it's this time of year and I shouldn't be so hard on myself because maybe a lot of people are feeling this way. And, maybe I can give myself a little bit of a break. You can split up your tasks. When I say by the book too, it doesn't mean like anything that's regimented or has to be done here in a certain order has to be done within a certain time frame either, right? I mean, you've got decisions to make. You almost have to sit with this. You really do. I wouldn't even necessarily take an action around this concern this week for two reasons. One, because we have unfinished symphony as your probable outcome. This is where you're being asked to look at what needs revising, revisiting, or releasing. An unfinished symphony is basically saying that something is still in your heart. Something is weighing on you. It could be love as well, right? It could be romance. It could be love. It could be someone that you're missing, something that was taken from you. That you feel that you've already taken steps perhaps to get around, and now you're just being asked to do it again, and it feels like, how long am I going to have to revisit this? Well, until you're able to say it's a finished symphony, right? Because something is gestating here. Something is still unborn. Something is still needing a release. But what this is saying to me really is that this reading is saying to me is saying, you don't need to rush it, because it's going to feel this week in particular that you better have this done, in your own head, or that gnawing sense of hurry up type thing, But you don't have to. You really don't have to. Like, unless this is surgery and someone's going to die in 10 minutes if you don't do it type thing, take your time with it. It's important to take your time with it, because very likely the reason why this is still an unfinished symphony in the first place is because you felt rushed. If you can sit with it and you can do things in the order that you need to do them in, okay, then this will become a finished symphony. This will be done to your exact measurements, to your exact needs and wants and desires. And remember, this does include things such as the domestic arts. Yes, it does. It does include the way that we communicate and interact with other people, no doubt. Maybe this is just a conversation that, I've been thinking about this person for such a long time, and you know what, I've reached out through email and I didn't get a response, so I'm going to try something else. Like again, whatever's most prominent in your life this week when you're hearing this is what you're going to want to reconfigure this around. If there's something that feels unfinished or that's difficult to let go of here, sit with it and try different things with it. You're going to try different methods, okay? So fork in the road is really what a decision needs to be made around. This is why we're not looking at so much as taking action this week or actually, behavior so much as contemplation, right? This is a nice week for you to contemplate what it is that a decision needs to be made around. Perhaps something that isn't finished for you, you just say, you know what? Time is up. Even if I could do it, I've just moved on, or I'm not the same person anymore. And that's your decision to make, but you have to sit with it and you have to consider both sides of that. Consider what happens if you shelve it forever, how you're going to feel about that. And then consider if you take the action to complete it or revisit or revise it and what that will entail for your future. Here we have loyalty, we have dog, loyalty to a project, loyalty to yourself or to your own growth. Basically, you're going to ask yourself, how is this going to improve my awareness? How is revisiting something and finishing an unfinished symphony for me here going to improve my life, my sense of awareness, my relationships, my respect for myself? Loyalty is it can be overwhelmed by truth as well, right? You have to be honest with yourself here more than anything. You can be loyal to someone or to an idea or to a project or to a concept. You can be loyal to that. But loyalty has to match the truth, right? The reason I'm saying this is because a dog can be kicked and kicked and kicked over and over for years of his life and still go back to that owner because of its undying loyalty, but that doesn't mean it's right, right? The truth of the matter is that dog is being abused. Would it be wiser, would the decision be wiser to say, you know, I'm going to free myself from that, even though it goes against my sense of loyalty? And my sense of loyalty is so strong and so high, it could actually be hurting me. So you want to, while this is a beautiful attribute of both animals and humans, it is imperative, Pisces, that you say it's more important and it behooves me and my health on all levels to be truthful and to accept the facts than it is to be loyal despite the evidence, okay? Just really be careful here and with regard to what you're loyal to. And if you have to be loyal to anyone, be loyal to yourself. To thine own self be true, Pisces. To thine own self be true. You're not here. You don't exist to please everybody else. Even though on some level, perhaps you feel you are, or perhaps you feel you are pulled in two different directions. You are the fish moving in two different directions, right? In that regard, you feel like you're responsible for everybody and everybody's feelings, but that's not the fact of the matter. You're only responsible for yourself. It's your sense of compassion that can get you into a little bit of trouble when it comes to other people and when it comes to people walking over you. So just beware here with regard to truth and loyalty. And your final card here is balance. Yes, absolutely. You want to balance the heart and the mind this week. You want to balance the doing and the being this week. You are a human being. You are enough. Just being, just living and breathing. You don't have to do anything, okay? And if you have a decision to make, like I said, unless this is on an operation table and minutes are the difference between life and death, take your time here, okay? You want to balance the emotions and practicalities. You want to balance what you're willing to get and what you're willing to give. You want to balance your loyalty with reality, okay? Remember to be in the present with yourself. This is the kindest thing you can do for yourself this week. So Pisces, that is your reading for the week. I really hope that you're treating yourself kindly and you're being fair with yourself. I love hearing from you, so if you have a second to comment below and subscribe to my channel and like my videos, that really helps me out as well. Until we meet in the next video, my dear Pisces, take excellent care of yourselves. Bye for now.